This video is brought to you by JLCPCB. In today's episode, you will learn how to make 3.7 volt Lipo and lithium ion battery monitoring system using Nodemcu ESP8266 Wi-Fi Module, TP4056 1S battery charger, SSD1306 Oled display module, and the new Blynk V2.0. You need to be very careful while working on battery power project, as you are not supposed to overcharge and over discharge your Lipo or lithium ion battery cell. Overcharging can make your battery explode, and it has practically happened to me. Being an engineer, when I knew all about it, I still made the most stupid decision by purchasing this battery charger. You can clearly see there is no protection circuit. The Lipo battery overcharged and caught fire. Thank God I was at home, so I quickly put out the fire. So just don't purchase a cheap battery charger, buy the one that has a charge protection circuit like this IMX charger. I have been using it for months and until now it's working just fine. Anyway, just like overcharging the battery, over discharging is also not a good thing, because if you continuously over discharge or drain your battery, it will tremendously reduce the battery lifespan. Just take a look at this Lipo battery. I used it to fly my racing drone. It looks like a new battery as I have been charging it using my IMX charger, but it's dead now because of over discharging as I was pushing it to its maximum limits. There wasn't any voltage monitoring system, so I had no idea when to stop flying the drone. Now you can imagine what's going to happen to this Lipo battery if I directly connect it to ESP32 or ESP8266 or any other 3.3 volt controller board if there is no voltage monitoring and automatic disconnection circuitry. This Lipo battery won't survive for long. But what if we monitor the battery voltage and also add a pair of MOSFETs, so that when the battery voltage increases above or drops below certain threshold values, the controller will immediately connect or disconnect the battery. This will definitely protect the battery from exploding, and it will also increase the battery lifespan. As this is a basic video, so I won't make things complicated, I have also designed my own Lipo and lithium ion battery charger. I will explain this in one of my upcoming videos. Anyway, for now we will focus on how to monitor the battery voltage and percentage. For this, I decided to use this low-cost TP4056 battery charger. TP4056 is best for charging single-cell lithium-ion and Lipo batteries. The TP4056 board has this DW01 battery protection IC that is designed to take care of overcharge, over discharge and overcurrent for single-cell lithium-ion or Lipo battery powered systems. So you simply connect your 3.7 volt battery and leave everything else to this module. It will make sure your battery stays safe. So I'm going to use this battery charge module. So let's go ahead and start the soldering. I'm using my N-Star digital microscope for recording this video, and I'm using the ATE tool soldering station. You can see I have soldered the red and black wires of the 3.7 volt Lipo battery with the B plus and B minus contacts on the TP4056 battery charge module, and using these output wires I can power up my 3.3 volt controller boards, 3.3 volt sensors and small coreless DC motors, etc. Now using my cell phone charger I can charge my single cell Lipo and lithium ion batteries. Now the next part is to monitor the voltage and charge percentage. For this I connected everything as per the circuit diagram, and as usual, before I'm going to explain the circuit diagram, Blynk Cloud dashboard and Blynk IoT app setup, first let's watch the 3.7 volt Lipo and lithium ion battery monitoring system in action. This video is sponsored by JLCPCB. Feel free to visit their website jlcpcb.com/scale to not only find out what awesome PCB and assembly services they offer, but also to easily upload your Gerber files. It automatically detects the number of layers and dimensions. Select the number of PCBs you want to order. Select your favorite PCB color. The price is automatically updated as you select different features. Finally, you can click on the Save to Cart button. You will only need to pay $2 for 1 to 4 layers PCBs and $0 for your PCB assembly. Besides this, JLCPCB also offers industrial 3D printing services starting at only $1. You can start by clicking on the first link in the description. You can see everything is powered up. My ESP8266 and cell phone both are connected to the Wi-Fi. You can see the voltage and percentage on the Blynk IoT cell phone app, on the Blynk Cloud dashboard, and also on the OLED display module. At first the voltage was a bit off, so I used a digital multimeter to find the actual voltage, and then I changed the calibration value in the programming. It took me around 5 minutes to complete the calibration. So if on your side the measured voltage is different from the actual battery voltage, then play with the calibration value until your measured voltage value matches the digital multimeter value. Now I'm going to connect an LED and you'll see a change in the battery voltage. It's working exceptionally well. Now you can add conditions in the programming to turn on the buzzer when the voltage increases above 4 volts or when the voltage falls below 2 volts. Anyway, using this battery voltage monitoring system, you can monitor your battery voltage and percentage from anywhere in the world. For demonstration purposes, I'm using a small Lipo battery, but in reality you will need to connect a slightly bigger battery if you want more battery backup. I'm sure by now you might have got an idea of how does this system work. So without any further delay, let's get started. On the left side, you can see a 5-volt regulated power supply based on the LM7805 linear voltage regulator. Using this regulated 5-volt power supply, I can power up the Nodemcu ESP8266 WiFi Module using a 12-volt adapter, battery, or a solar panel. If you don't want to use this, it's okay. You can use your 3.7-volt Lipo or lithium ion battery to power up the Nodemcu module. But it's good to have different power sources. Anyway, you can see the battery red and black wires are connected with the B+ and B- contacts of the TP4056 module. 2 resistors are connected in series across the out+ and out- contacts. These 100 kilo ohm resistors make the voltage divider circuit. You can see a wire from the middle of this voltage divider is connected with the A0 analog pin of the Nodemcu module for measuring the voltage. And make sure you connect the ground of the TP4056 charger module with the ground of the Nodemcu module. The SSD1306 I2C supported OLED display module SDA and SCL pins are connected with the SDA and SCL pins on the Nodemcu ESP8266 WiFi module. D1 is the SCL and D2 is the SDA, while the VCC and ground pins of the OLED display module are connected with the Nodemcu module 3.3 volt and ground pins. These are the PCB boards I received from the JLCPCB. As you can see, the quality is really great. The silk screen is quite clear and the black solder mask looks amazing. This is how my Nodemcu ESP8266 development board looks after soldering all the components. I use this development board for testing all my ESP8266 based projects. Anyway, I connected all the electronics as per the circuit diagram, and now let's start with the Blynk web dashboard setup. The Blynk V2.0 web dashboard setup is exactly the same as explained in my getting started video on the ESP8266 and Blynk V2.0. I also have a getting started video on the ESP32 and Blynk V2.0. So if you're just starting with the new Blynk V2.0, then I highly recommend watch my previous videos. My battery monitoring web dashboard is ready, and now we will copy and paste these credentials in the programming. You can download this entire code from our website electronicclinic.com. I will provide a link in the description. Before you upload the program, first make sure you select the correct Nodemcu ESP8266 board. And also make sure you select the correct communication port. Finally, click on the upload button. If you are using Nodemcu ESP8266 for the first time, then you will also need to install the Blynk library and also the Nodemcu ESP8266 board using the board manager URL link. I have already explained this in my previous video on Blynk V2.0 and ESP8266. Besides this, you will also need to install libraries for the SSD1306 Oled display module. I have added links to all the related videos in the description. In some libraries you can directly download from the article available on electronicclinic.com. Anyway, you can see the program is uploaded, and now let's start with the Blynk IoT mobile application. It also involves the same steps. There is nothing complicated, just follow the same exact steps. But still, if you face any difficulty, then you can watch my getting started video on Blynk V2.0. My Blynk IoT mobile application is also ready, and now let's start with a practical demonstration. Support me on Patreon for more videos. I hope you liked today's episode. Like and share this video with your friends. See you in next episode, and thanks for watching.